Coming up on First at 4, the latest on the investigation into the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse and the trickle-down effect it's having on local farmers. Plus, prosecutors called it one of the biggest financial frauds in U.S. history. How long a former cryptocurrency mogul will be spending in prison.
Plus, one more dry day is on tap before weekend rain chances. Those details coming up as Mountain News First at 4 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon. I'm Olivia Calfee. First at 4. New video shows what happened moments before the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore. Meanwhile, search efforts have been paused for the missing construction workers who are presumed dead. Cole Higgins has the latest details.
We're now moving from a recovery mode to a salvage operation.
Maryland State Police Colonel Roland Butler announcing Wednesday evening that recovery efforts for 4 people presumed dead after Baltimore's Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed in the frigid Patapsco River are on hold.
Because of the superstructure surrounding what we believe are the vehicles and the amount of concrete and debris, divers are no longer able to safely navigate or operate around that.
New traffic cam video shows what happened moments before that collapse. The data recorder was recovered from the ship Tuesday. National Transportation Safety Board investigators learning alarms went off 45 minutes after the ship left the terminal. The pilot sending a mayday call to shut down traffic. With dozens of ships headed toward the port now needing to be diverted, the focus is to rebuild.
The reality is that for all those jobs and for all the commerce that goes through the Port of Baltimore, opening that channel is the priority.
The collapse of the Key Bridge is a global crisis. The national economy and the world's economy depends on the Port of Baltimore.
But extreme weather conditions are making recovery efforts for this disaster tough.
I mean, it's cold. It's cold water. It's raining, and you have current and all sorts of waterway challenges.
Restating Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg's statement, rebuilding won't be quick or easy. I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
As the trickle-down effects of the bridge collapse reveal themselves, there is one that may hit close to home for farmers in the region. United States Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg warns that farm equipment may be impacted by the indefinite closing of the Port of Baltimore. Perry County Extension Services agent Charles May warns farms not to panic now, but to stay aware of inflation and inventory shortages in the future.
I wouldn't panic because, there'd be disruptions, no doubt, but how bad, again, I don't know. We're pretty resilient in getting things moved out to the people, so they'll find a way to get that product out there.
May says that large companies like John Deere as well as some local provider shipments do go through that port, so farmers should keep that in mind. We will have more about the impact this could have in our region tonight at 6.
We are tracking some dry and sunny weather across the mountains on this Thursday afternoon. Let's take a live look from the WYMT studios. Hardly a cloud in the sky over in Perry County. That current temperature a little bit cooler today, up to 55 degrees in Hazard. Most of us right now in the middle to upper 50s, up to 57 for Jackson, 59 for London, and sitting at 58 for Clay County and Manchester, also for Bell County and Middlesboro at this hour. Up on first alert pinpoint Doppler, all thanks to high pressure. We are tracking a clean sweep on the radar, and that will continue as we go into this evening. Notice high pressure sitting right over Kentucky, and again, that will set the stage for some more dry weather and some more mainly clear skies, so that will allow those temperatures to tumble once the sun sets. And we do have a frost advisory in place for Campbell, Claiborne County in Tennessee, also for Lee County, Virginia, and that will last through 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Your forecast this evening is chilly once the sun sets. Most of us wake up in the upper 30s to lower 40s to walk out the door on Friday, and one more dry day is on the way tomorrow before some rain chances increase by this weekend. Also watching out for possibly a few strong to severe storms by early next week. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Olivia?
All right, Cameron, thank you. An organization in London has partnered with surrounding police agencies to start a program helping kids. The Police Activities League is a nationwide program. Those with London Martial Arts decided to add the program in the area and partnered with police in doing so. Hopi Darty with London Police says they have one of the few smaller programs.
Typically, these are a lot of big urban areas, but when London Martial Arts came to us and talking about partnership with it, we were really excited because it is a way to reach those kids that may not otherwise have an avenue to refocus what issues they're going through.
He says some officers already take classes at London Martial Arts, giving them a chance to interact with kids. We will take a closer look at the program at 6. Former cryptocurrency mogul Sam Bankman-Fried has been sentenced to 25 years in prison. Before learning his sentence, the 32-year-old apologized for what happened. A federal grand jury convicted Bankman-Fried last November on 7 counts of fraud and conspiracy for stealing billions of dollars from customers and investors of his crypto exchange.
I think one of the things that really came through in the trial that's important to understand here is that the prosecution was able to show multiple times where Sam had the opportunity to do the right thing, to come clean, and he chose not to do so.
The judge also said Bankman-Fried lied during his trial testimony and attempted witnesses tampering and ordered him to forfeit $11 billion. His attorneys are expected to appeal his sentence. The Biden administration is taking another step in its effort to lower the cost of health care. This morning, the administration announced it's limiting short-term health insurance plans, which they call junk insurance, because they often leave patients with big medical bills. The new rule says new sales of the insurance plans can only cover 3 months or a total of 4 if customers renew. The policies were originally about a year long. The new rule also requires providers to show how to find more comprehensive coverage. Coming up on First at 4, old electronics aren't just taking up space in drawers, they're also extensively covering the planet. We take a look at just how bad the planet's e-waste is.
Plus, rain chances are back for Easter weekend. Your first alert forecast coming up.